We have an exciting one-man army launch going on where you are going to be the person in charge of the army. As I said, I'm Todd Gross, and I am going to ask you if you wouldn't mind just letting me know if you could hear me okay. Okay, this is great. Cy is here again. Looking forward to the presentation. Thank you, Cy. Hank is here from Kansas. Carl. Okay, great. I can't get to everybody. Make sure that the audio was good and get to say hello to at least a few of you. We have literally hundreds and hundreds of people on this call. You happen to be, generally speaking, a really savvy group. Okay. The JV partners that invited you here, my JV partners, and of course, my subscribers, you guys happen to be very accelerated in general. So I don't want to take things for granted. So I'm going to ask for a 1 and a 2 so I could just gauge. In the last few months, you've heard about OpenClaw, and this goes beyond that by leaps and bounds. All right. If you've heard of OpenClaw, if you're familiar with it at all, give me a 1 in the chat box. Now, if you are not familiar with OpenClaw, and okay, so almost all of you are familiar with OpenClaw. For those that aren't, it's about 20%. Let me explain what's been going on in the course of the last few months. It's been explosive. So basically, there was ChatGPT, right? In fact, I'll explain it to you a little bit more as I move through the slides. And most people think of AI as something that's about writing emails faster or generating social posts or replacing Google searches. But that's not really the big shift that's happening right now. That was last year's stuff. This year, around January 1st, OpenClaw came out, and following and simultaneously, other AI agents that did so much more than ChatGPT and all the others came out that actually allowed you to go much, much deeper. Now, the first billion-dollar company, in fact, has already been built. Smaller one-person companies are also being built. And the crazy thing is, most people don't even realize that the game has changed yet. And the important thing I said just now is I said, company has been built. So, in other words, something like ChatGPT, and you'll be hearing about Paperclip and Hermes, builds extremely complex tasks that you want it to do. It's not complex to do because of the way we've set it up, but the things that you ask it can do can go very deep, or it could set up an entire company for you. And that's the difference. Now, here's an actual post from a few days ago from Rich Sheffrin, who's, a very, very experienced OG marketer. He says, this shouldn't be possible. 2 people, 1 company, 1.8 billion in revenue. Now, listen to the rest of this. Not a million, a billion. The company is called MedV. The New York Times profiled them in April. They compete with Hims and Hers. Some of you know that company. It's a company running about 2,400 employees. That's Hims and Hers. That barely keeps 5 cents on every dollar. So they don't have much of a profit margin. Then he goes on to say, MedV keeps 16 cents with just 2 people. Now, how does that happen? Of course, that happens because the rest of the employees, all 2,000 or so of them, are AI employees. Most people are still using AI like this. You ask a question. In fact, I did this just yesterday with ChatGPT. I asked it a question, and I typed in a prompt, and I got an answer. I copied and pasted it, and then that was it. That's fine. We all want to use that in Gemini and Claude. We all want to use it like that. But a small group of operators are doing something that's way more advanced, and it was our job, we felt, to simplify it. They're not using AI as a chatbot. They're building AI systems. And here's what I want you to look at really closely at the bottom of the screen. It starts with the AI infrastructure. That's how we're approaching it. That means, for instance, who's on top, and then underneath there's going to be department heads, and then underneath there's going to be workers. Now, it's actually possible for you to create that hierarchy. It looks something like this. All right, so you have a CEO that you hire, and I'll show you how easy it is to do. And Rohit is here, and he's going to show you how easy it is to do. You actually have a CEO on top, and then the CEO is going to go and hire a research AI, an outreach assistant, a content AI, a strategy AI, an operations AI underneath the CEO. And then you're going to approve those hires for whatever you can think up of a business. You just give it an idea, and then it's actually going to create that hierarchy. That's what ours is going to do. That's even beyond OpenClaw, and you'll see how we do it in a minute. So this new divide is the left side, people are using AI for productivity, and certainly that's great. Okay. But the right side is for people who want to get ahead of this whole AI thing that's about to just basically kill everybody, with 50% of the white collar workforce expected to be gone in just 2 or 3 years. And I don't mean to scare you with this. This is absolutely what's going on. And you need to be prepared for it and be on the other side of it. Because if you have a white collar job now, I know that it's scary, because when it comes to an accountant, or it comes to, so many different roles that a company has, like we just discussed a moment ago with that company Hims and Hers, they have 2,400 people there, and they're being beat by the competition with no people there. You could see why there's going to be these massive layoffs. So I want you on the other side. I want you on the right side of this chart. People using AI for leverage and building systems that multiply their output, or selling those systems to companies that need it. All right. So you'll be able to deploy AI teams, assign goals and strategies. You could execute and deliver. You can oversee and scale. You could focus on growth and make big moves. But how are we going to achieve all this with the AI models, the AI that we have gotten our hands on? So the bottleneck is no longer intelligence, it's the infrastructure. The AI is there, the models are there, the workflows are there. It's 2026. The real bottleneck is, can one person actually control it? Can you lasso this in? Can you get all this to a level that everybody can actually do all this? All in one. And that's where everything usually breaks. People don't have the right way to do that. Even if they get OpenClaw, which many of you already have, and that's fine because these things are changing, of course, with time here. You have a problem of where will it sit? Will it sit on your computer? Will it sit in the cloud? There's servers that are involved. There's API keys that you usually have to pay for. We are going to show you how we're going to quick start and give you a shortcut around API keys so you don't have to pay extra money. There's the Docker, which is the leveling field, so it works on all platforms. There's setup nightmares. You can imagine the setup nightmares. And there's constant breaking as the AIs change. We have a way around that. You see, I teamed with Rohit Shah. We've been discussing this for several months. And he realized the future isn't one super AI, it's multiple specialized AI workers running together. And we want you to learn, that's me there, how to be your own one man army, or as Rohit would put it, one man empire. That is, you control it all, and you could be in charge of that CEO that's in charge of all the other AI employees below, and you could set it up any way you want. One plan, one plans. We have three things going on here. We're going to introduce you to all three in just a second. One of the AI plans, one executes, and one remembers. Paperclip is the one that's the planning layer. And we're going to be going over this several times, so you don't have to memorize this chart right now. OpenClaw, is the one that is the doer. And Hermes is the up and coming one that is now 4 times more popular than OpenClaw, that does a lot of what OpenClaw does, but it also works with what you produce from OpenClaw and fixes it, and then is a memory layer. I'll go over this again with you because I know this is crazy that we've put these three together, these powerful three together, and I'll show you how we've done that. So if you can deploy an entire AI workforce in minutes, would you? Well, with OneManArmy, you have one dashboard, and these three AI agents sit side by side. In fact, it's so simple that I have it actually off on the side of the screen here. This is not part of the webinar as I have planned it. I just want to show you you see this? All you do is you just click create your first bot right there. And then you have Paperclip, OpenClaw, and Hermes. It's that simple. It's absolutely amazing what we have done in terms of the simplification of this, because this is something that is going to, you'll see it gets kind of technical sounding, but we've simplified it. Okay, so here's the key features of what we're doing. You have an AI business team with what we've put together, with Paperclip as the planner that's going to create that hierarchy that I showed you, so that it will create the CEO, the plan of who's under the CEO, and it could plan in many different ways too, which I'll show you later. But it's going to create the blueprint for everything else that you're about to do. Then OpenClaw is the doer. It performs the tasks, and Hermes is the memory layer so that it retains everything you tell it about what you've done with Paperclip and OpenClaw, and everything about your business and everything you want and desire. And you don't have to retell it everything all over again. It remembers, it never forgets. So let's start with Paperclip. That is basically your AI CEO. It plans projects, it builds teams, it assigns work, and it reports progress, and it finds missing steps. So you, when you go into Paperclip, immediately are going to create that CEO. And then the CEO is going to turn around and do all kinds of things. Like look at on the right-hand side there. Paperclip's at the top. That's the CEO. And then Paperclip is actually going to hire a writer, a designer, a researcher, and an email specialist for the task that we have, the project that we have right there. So you have a mini business right there already. Now, it isn't doing anything, it's planning it all out so that when you go to the next step, you'll be able to fill all those roles. It knows what roles need to be planned. Paperclip can build product launches, email campaigns, content systems, weekly plans. Remember, I said it's good at planning not just the hierarchy of your business, but all this other stuff, and complete business models. Now, for instance, on the right-hand side, this is if you have a product launch. It will plan out the sales page, the email sequence, the checklists you need, the social posts you need, and the launch plan to get that product launch going. It plans it all out. Next is OpenClaw. It does the research, it does the writing, the follow-ups, the landing pages, the content calendars, the administrative tasks. It just gets done. All right. It does all those things. It's the doer. OpenClaw in action as an example. All right, on the left-hand side, it could organize your inbox as part of the whole system that you're creating, the whole business. It could research your market. It could write your drafts. Now, remember, all these are going to fit into the employees you've created with Paperclip previously. So the person that's writing the draft, or I should say the AI person that writes your drafts, is going to be an AI employee that you've already assigned through Paperclip. And it will run your follow-ups. It will build your assets. It will work from anywhere. And now let's meet Hermes. Hermes remembers your brand better than OpenClaw ever could. And you'll see testimonials to that in a minute. It knows your voice, it knows your tone, your style, what makes you unique. But what's more important is, as you create these things, it remembers it and it learns from what you're creating. It remembers your clients as an example. It separates memories for every client, their rules, their history, their preferences. It knows your clients. It remembers your business, the offers, the pricing, the style guides, the do's and the don'ts. It learns and improves. It gets smarter with every interaction. It answers from anywhere. And basically, it's a shared memory for your army. Hermes basically changes everything, and that's why it's so popular right now. It gives you a consistent brand voice. Again, I'm reading off the left side. It separates client memories, We've already mentioned that. It stops the repetition. It knows your offers, so you don't have to keep plugging it back in. You don't have to keep copying, pasting. It learns from each one of these interactions. It connects your tool to your tools, and it answers from anywhere. So that's basically the third prong of this amazing triangle. Now, Hermes, to be quite honest, is what's doing so well right now. I mean, it was OpenClaw early in the year, was famous, and now Hermes is the famous one. Paperclip's great in that it organizes, but Hermes is the one that has solved the big problems. For instance, look over these actual testimonials. And this is coming from places like Reddit. One on the upper left, Hermes versus OpenClaw. I'm using Hermes currently, but only as a beginner agent. It's kind of like a VA. The good part about Hermes versus OpenClaw is memory. With OpenClaw, it's a one track. Now, the next one, side by side, Hermes more stable, troubleshoots OpenClaw. Troubleshoots OpenClaw. Using both side by side, I find it more stable and less of a headache than OpenClaw. Hermes has more research skills, and it's very handy as a troubleshooter of OpenClaw. The next one on the right says Hermes is OpenClaw with a week of debug. It's amazing. It's OpenClaw already set up and working. They're kind of giving it, saying it's like that. It's like an OpenClaw with 1 week of debugging manually done. All right, and then at the bottom it says Hermes Agent has won. Why Hermes Agent has emerged as the leading open source AI agent that develops and builders. And then I couldn't read the rest there. The next one says tweets in my voice pulled from past video scripts. Listen to this one. Prompted Hermes to help write tweets based on past video scripts. Pointed it at a scripts folder. It analyzed my writing style. It produced usable tweets and saved preferences. Now, you may say to yourself, you've seen this before, and that when you've seen it before, perhaps in ChatGPT or something like that, the memory is not as lasting as it is here. Okay, so that's what you need to understand. This is completely learning as you go your brand or your client's brand. And I'll bring that up again in just a bit. Now, your army is going to create content, right? You're going to describe your idea, and whether you create this and put this into a business or not, you're going to be super powerful. You could create images and videos and emails and social posts and marketing assets and ad creatives and custom content. Your army, your advantage. Now it's your move. One shared memory, all your tools are connected. Create more faster, work together, and win together. It's really incredible that Rohit put these three together. Now, OneManArmy removes the hard part. Instead of customers dealing with the setup, the hosting, the servers, the Docker that I mentioned, the APIs, the terminals, the separate installs, and trying to figure out how to actually run these darn things, it gives them a hosted command center that I showed you just a moment ago, where you could easily deploy all three, Paperclip, OpenClaw, and Hermes. Now, here's a very quick sheet for just fast reference, all right, so that you understand what I mean. Let's say you want to plan a big goal and run a team, then you'll use Paperclip. If you want to get an actual task done right now, you'd use OpenClaw. If you want to keep everything on brand and remembered, you'd use Hermes. But if you want to run a whole operation as one person, all three. Three bots, one dashboard, you're in charge. I see a zillion thumbs up. You're ready for that demo. So let me do this. Let me share it.
Welcome to One Man Army. I'm Todd Gross along with Rohit Shah, the man behind it. Let me show you what we made. Three of the most used AI agents on the planet. One dashboard, live in minutes, working for you or working for clients who pay you every single month to set this up. Now, before I show you the dashboard, I want you to understand why we built this. It's really important. There's three bots, Paperclip, OpenClaw, and Hermes. Now, these aren't random little AI tools somebody threw together last week. Not at all. This is OpenRouter. It tracks how much these agents are actually getting used across the whole world. Take a look. Look where they sit. Right at the very top. Hermes alone has used more tokens than the rest of the top 5 agents combined. That's combined. And that's not hype. That's real usage from people running real operations because they're open source. They are some of the most starred projects on GitHub right now. Updated constantly, getting better constantly. So the demand for these bots is already here. So why doesn't everyone just run these themselves? Because it's brutal. If you try to set this up yourself, you have to deal with servers, Docker, API keys, credit, security, updates, and keep everything online 24/7. And a laptop won't cut it. Your laptop shuts down, your internet drops, things break, updates, they change. And if you're setting this up for a client, you can't exactly tell them the bot only works when your laptop happens to be open, right? Then there's the risk, of course. One security slip on a server doing real work gets expensive fast. That's the part people don't see coming. And on top of it all, the AI model itself costs money wherever you run it. So here's the real value. It was never just getting access to these agents. It's making them easy to deploy everything, easy to run, and easy to sell as a proper AI automation system. That's why we built it. One Man Army. Here's the whole setup. Watch how fast this is. I pick a bot. In this case, I choose complimentary AI access, and that's the model access. So there's no wallet to load. I click create. That's it. It's spinning up. We've got Paperclip going. Not bad, right? Now let me do the other two while that runs. OpenClaw and Hermes, a couple of clicks, and done. 3 world-class AI agents are live. No Docker, no server to rent, no API key to hunt down. We host it, we secure it, we keep it updated. What takes a developer a full weekend, you just did 3 times in under a minute. Now let me show you what these actually do. And as I go, keep one thing in mind. Everything here you can also do for a client and charge them for it. Start with Paperclip. This isn't a chatbot. It's an AI company. I give it a goal. Let's say run an AI automation agency that sells to local businesses. I hand that to the CEO, and the CEO doesn't just answer me. It plans, it works out which role it needs, and it asks to hire them. A sales agent, a solutions engineer, an account manager. Nothing happens until I say, yes, I approve. And now I've got a team already. A real org chart, all working towards the goal I set. Need more firepower? I could drop in a ready-made specialist in seconds. Look at this one. We've got a video one here. This one creates images. Deployed, done. That's part of the difference. You're not talking just an assistant. You're running a company here. You stay in command. The team does the work for you. Next, OpenClaw. This one's the field operator, the one that goes out and actually does things. Watch this. I'll ask it to find me a new dentist in New York who'd benefit from AI automation with their phone number and their website. And there they are. A prospect list in seconds. Think about what that actually is. That's your client pipeline. People sell lists like this. Your bot just built one while we were talking just now. Now Hermes. Hermes is the memory, and it's quietly the most valuable one. Every other AI tool starts from zero every time. You re-explain your business, well, every Monday. Hermes doesn't. It remembers. Watch. I'll load in a client, ABC Dental, in New York. Their tone, their offer, their audience, Hermes saves that. It knows that client now for good. And here's where it pays off. I'll ask it, based on what you know about ABC Dental, build a one-page marketing plan, make it client ready, and email it to me. And look, there's the plan. Clean, formatted as a PDF, and it just emailed it to me from my own verified domain. That's a deliverable. An agency charges $300 to $500 for. Done in about a minute by a bot that already knows the client. And none of this is chained to your desk. I can hook Hermes up to Telegram and run the whole thing from my phone. I fire off a task from Telegram, find today's AI news and post it on my X account, and it is done. Post it. That's the difference hosting makes. It's crazy. It's running around the clock. While you sleep, while you're sitting with a client, the work just keeps going. So let's talk about the real opportunity here. Everything I just showed you, finding leads, remembering clients, building plans, posting content, running a whole AI team, every bit of that you could do for other people, local businesses, founders, agencies, they're all looking for exactly this right now. And they'll happily pay you every month for it because they understand the truth. Hosting costs money. AI access costs money. Security and updates costs money. Agencies are charging $5,000 a month to set up the exact system that you just watched. People are doing single setups on Upwork for $500 to $2,500 each. You get commercial rights from day one. Use it for yourself or install it for clients and bill them monthly. As we've said, it's your call. So that is One Man Army, 3 of the hottest AI agents right now. Paperclip to plan, OpenClaw to execute, Hermes to remember and improve. All deployed from just one dashboard, hosted for you with complimentary AI access included. You could use it to run your own work faster, or you could sell AI automation systems to clients with commercial rights included. This is Todd Gross, along with Rohit Shah. We really appreciate your being here, and that's a look at the inside.
All right. That's great. So the demand for these agents obviously already exists. Paperclip, OpenClaw, and Hermes already have public proof, public use cases, and real people showing what they are doing with these kinds of agents. Now, the demand is already here, and I'm going to show you right now some examples. I'm going to move this forward to the examples. And basically, there's just a few I'm going to read off to you here. This person on the top left, created a weather prediction bot, which is pretty much up my alley because I'm a weather forecaster originally, right? In under 48 hours, it scans 3 forecast sources per location every 60 minutes. It identifies undervalued temperature buckets, buys them, and then flips for profit. So I assume they're doing that with Kalshi. On the upper right, we have something similar. They produced a trading as well in Polymarket. Okay. And then under there on the bottom left, where it says 4 minutes, look at this one, UGC Ad Studio. Able to paste a product URL in. The agent then went and scraped the landing page. It pulled winning ad hooks from the Meta Ads library, plus the TikTok Creative Center in the exact niche that they were looking for, and it wrote a full creative brief. All right, so it did all those different tasks, and basically it then helped with their UGC, user generated content. I'll skip to the next page here. We'll take a look at some more. This one on the upper left says 20 to 30 minutes saved per client call. The agent researches the client, the company, and news before every single call. After the call, drafts follow up, then weekly replaces 10 plus hours of podcast listening with a 2-hour summary. So, in other words, they also use podcasts in their business and it summarizes the podcasts so that it just cuts their time way, way down, in addition to all the other stuff they mentioned. All right, I'll skip to the bottom. I'll let you read some of these, but then I'll skip to the bottom for the way that we see you making the most money the quickest, and that's providing this for clients. So you see on the very bottom where you see money, 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 10 clients at $1,000 a month. Guess what? We think that it's very realistic for you to charge $1,000 per month to run this for businesses. All right. After that initial install. Now, if I was you, I'd install it for free, but you could charge $500 to $2,500 for just the install. And then you have the upkeep here. They don't have to know that you get automatic updates, right? As part of this, they don't have to know that. You could just say that you are going to keep everything up and running for them. Now, OpenClaw, here's some use cases of how this is being used because it now has several months. It's been almost a half year here of use. I'm just going to read a few of these off. I don't want to bog you down too much. You could get a 2-minute morning brief. You could build a shared shopping list from chat messages. You could turn voice notes into a daily journal entry. Again, this is the OpenClaw doer. All right. You could track packages and deliver status of those packages automatically. As a business, you need that, right? Summarize unread emails and reach inbox zero faster. Because the unread emails, I have literally over 100,000 of them in my Gmail. I have over 100,000 unread emails. You could monitor brand mentions on X and send a daily report. You could automate new client onboarding tasks. You could see this goes on and on and on. There's so much there. You may want to screenshot this. Before I go to the next slide, you may want to screenshot that. There's just so many things that you can do with these AI agents. Paperclip, that's the planner. Paperclip is the one you talk to when you have a big goal and don't want to manage the details. You tell it what you want, it figures out who's needed, it builds the team. Use it for jobs that used to need a whole team, like launch my new offer or run my whole content operation, plan my week for me, build a small business in a box. It sets the whole outline for all those things. Right now, the next one, of course, is OpenClaw, which many of you are familiar with, the doer. You can say, clean up my inbox, like we just talked about. Do research and give me a short version. We talked about that too. Write a first draft, run my follow ups, build me the thing, a landing page, a simple spreadsheet, a content calendar, a set of social posts. You ask, it builds, and then you check it. Now, let's talk about Hermes. It's the memory. We've discussed that as well. Sound like me every time, you could say. Hermes learns your writing voice. Remember each of my clients. Running 5, 10, 12 clients, Hermes keeps each one separate. Stop making me repeat myself, you can say. Get smarter as we go. The longer Hermes works with you, the better it gets. Answer me from my phone. You could message Hermes. In fact, Hermes is the one that you exclusively have to use through Telegram or Discord and get real answers with full context about your business. So that's how you actually communicate with Hermes once you set it up. You do it with Telegram. We suggest Telegram. It's the best way to do Hermes. You could do Telegram on OpenClaw as well, but you don't have to because it sits within our system. You could speak to it in the system. Be the memory for the other bots. That's what we've been discussing with Hermes. Plug into the tools that I already use. Hermes connects to the apps and tools you've already got, and your business knowledge lives in one place instead of scattered all over the place. All right, let's talk about more use cases. 5 services business that you can now build, not with just OpenClaw, not with Hermes. I mean, this is all 3 of them working together in one man army. You could build a local marketing agency, content reviews, and customer follow up. You could build a cold outreach agency, content repurposing agency, reputation management agency, real estate marketing assistant, e commerce growth assistant, 7-course launch assistant, executive assistant service, SaaS support and marketing assistant, and client reporting agency. And I have a surprise for you. Not only can you build those, You get all of those pre-built already inside One Man Army. The framework for them is already there as a special bonus. So we actually have 10 businesses there already for you. And the reason you're going to get it is because you're getting the whole bundle package today, as you'll see as I go through everything and break it down. Now, training is included, of course. Take a look right there. It's, on the left hand side, you see on the left hand side how one of the options, of course, is for you to go to the help center. That's what's highlighted on the left. And once you do that, notice where it says overview on the about a quarter way in from the left. There's all your lessons. Lesson one, two, three, four, meet Paperclip, hire your first CEO, all that kind of stuff. It's all in there. So you have the training built in so that you're not going to get lost. And then, of course, you can use our support tab on the lower left. Now, why do you need One Man Army? Well, the future belongs to people with leverage that are going to be utilizing the AI to make money rather than get caught in this incredible avalanche of job loss. One Man Army helps you do more and faster with less effort. It turns ideas right into execution. Now, most people don't lack ideas. They lack the time, they lack the focus and the execution. One Man Army helps you move from linking to thinking to actually doing. Faster execution means faster growth. And you can compete way beyond your size. What once required a team can now be done by one person only. And you do have a team in a sense, but it's an AI team. You can create more, you could launch faster and scale smarter and operate bigger without hiring bigger. You don't need as many employees, if any at all. And that's, you see what you're doing here. You're on the other side. You're going to be the ones who are, I hate to put it this way because it's just so sad, but you're the ones that are going to be part of this revolution, but you're going to be on the right side of it. The bottom line is combine human vision and AI leverage, and you become more capable, productive, competitive, one person, nearly unlimited potential. So let's talk about deploying your army. We're going to show you what is in this deal. Okay? I'm saying get it right now, but you're getting so much. I've got to explain what you're getting. So hang in there. And this part, you may want to take some notes. This is tremendous what we're including. First of all, you get all of the normal stuff if there were a commercial license available. You get a hosted command dashboard, obviously. Now, you would get two bot deployments, but you're going to get several more. You're going to actually get five, which means you could run three at once and then two more. You have a total of like five, right? So you could run several. You could run two paper clips and two open claws and one Hermes, that sort of thing. Access to 8 AI agents from the persona library is what you'd normally get, but you get more. And I'll show you what the AI agents look like in just a moment. You also get 1 year of cloud hosting, but you're going to be getting much more because you're going to be getting the bundle deal. 1 month of complimentary AI access. That means you don't have to pay for the API unless you use um, specialized employees. And I'll show you that again in a moment. All right. So you actually are going to be getting this complimentary, but you're not going to be getting 1 month. You're going to be getting much more because you're getting the bundle. No API keys are needed to start. I have to repeat that because a lot of you just can't believe that I'm talking about not paying at first for any of the API stuff. Everywhere else, you always have to pay for that, right? In this case, we want to give you a quick start while you're experimenting and while you're getting going. The commercial license is included. You could use it for yourself or for your clients. You get a 5-minute deployment per bot, no technical setup. Did you hear that? It takes 5 minutes. Browser-based access from any device, real-time bot status monitoring, one-click restart, suspend, resume. persistent data across restarts and key swaps, mobile friendly dashboard, multi provider AI support, pre installed skill library, which we'll be going over, Telegram, Slack, and Discord integration. So you could actually run uh, OpenClaw and Hermes from Telegram, Slack, and Discord if you want. And you could one click hire from the AI agent library, 24/7 support, 14-day money back guarantee, and all four fast action bonuses. But remember, I said you get more than just this, but I wanted to go over everything because this is the basis of everything else. You see, you're also going to be getting the first upgrade, which is 5 bot instances instead of 2. So you could run 5 at one time. You could run 2 OpenClaws, 2 Hermes, 1 Paperclip. All advanced skills are unlocked. Training for adding custom skills. You could actually add your own and make your own. We discussed that a little bit, I believe, in the demo. And 6 months of platform updates. So as the latest versions come out, you get updated and you've seen the changes that happened with OpenClaw in the last few months. If you weren't able to keep up with that, then what were you going to do? You had to keep, putting it on your computer and going through the same headaches again. In this case, we deal with those problems and you get it all updated when we feel it's ready. And you get priority support. So you get put to the head of the line as well because you're going to be getting the bundle or the all inclusive, as I like to call it. But you're getting something else too. You're getting the second upgrade and the third upgrade and the fourth upgrade included. The second upgrade, OTO2, I guess you could call it, is 10 done for you company setups. You already saw a bit of that before. You import in one click to Paperclip the company frameworks. And then it just, the organization is basically done. You get access to all 23 Pro AI agents from the Persona library. Those are actually skilled AI agents that are in there already for you. And you get 5 new fully skilled personnel added to the library every month. Think of those as employees. All right. They already know what they're doing. And we'll show you a list of those in just a second. And that's the second. It's coming right there. It is. Okay. So here's, if you look closely, I know it's small, but you see where it says hire AI agents on the left hand side? These agents are already outfitted by us with the proper qualifications to perform the tasks that you would want them to do. They're very skilled AI employees. It includes communications, customer insights, customer success, customer support, design, e commerce, engineering, marketing, operations, reputation, sales, social, blue sky, social for blue sky, social for Facebook, social for Instagram, social for LinkedIn. So they're experts in those very specific social networks. Social for Pinterest, for Reddit, for Threads, for X. Now, a couple of these, as I'll explain in a moment, would actually require you putting in an API. And I'll show you more about that in a minute. And I'll give you an example. There's one here that's listed as video. If you wanted to use video, your video expert, when they actually deploy a video for you, that's going to mean that you need to get Replicate and you need the API for Replicate. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Now that you've seen what these pro AI agents are like, now let's talk about the companies. All right. So the 10 done for you companies I showed you before. It was the cold outreach, the content repurposing, the reputation management, the local marketing. All of these are frameworks that you get right into Paperclip. All right. And on the right hand side, see it says, and added link to 5 more in public domain. That's because we actually know of 5 more really good ones that are already out there for you to just grab. Now, the AI API specialists that I discussed a moment ago, that happens to require that you go above and beyond, because most of this obviously is going to be free for you for several months. But when it comes to replicate, you're going to need image and video, or resend for email sending, or upload post for social media scheduling. If you do any of those, you're going to have to actually connect these three services to their Hermes as well from the Hermes page. And there may be an API charge for that, like for using Replicate as an example. But most of the things that you'll be doing, you won't be needing to actually pay anything at all, because you'll be getting this complimentary API access to start for several months. OTO 3, very simple to explain. It's your agency website so you can sell this to other businesses. You get this included as well. Agency assets, agency license, 2 additional months of complimentary API access. So now we're up to 3, and 1 year of additional hosting. Now, even though I said you get 3 months of API access as a bonus for being on the webinar, I'm going to throw in yet another month. We'll talk about that in just a sec. You get, as OTO 4, is a reseller package. Now imagine if you resold this as software of your own. You could see how compelling this is to sell. Right now, I'm selling it to you. 25 full one-man army accounts. That's the front end and pro tier. So let me show you what that is that you get. You get 25. Let me back up to this. 25 of this, which is the commercial, and the pro tier. That's this. Okay, that's something you can actually sell with our blessing, and it's going to be included. The reseller is included. 25 full one-man army accounts that you could sell for several $100s. That's the front end plus the pro tier included on every one. You keep 100% of every sale. No revenue split, no royalty, no catch. But we do all the work. We're the ones that are going to be providing it and the supporting it. You're just going to sell it and get paid for it 100%. That includes the reseller playbook, positioning, sales scripts, and outreach done for you. It includes the account issuance handled. So, in other words, you send us your buyer, we set them up, we do the hard work. So, obviously, I've now showed you all 4 assets that you're getting. I've showed you that you're getting the base product, the first upgrade, which is the Pro, the second upgrade, and the third upgrade, which is going to be the ability to have an agency out of this, and the fourth upgrade, which is allow you to sell this software yourself. Boy, we have it all in a bundle. It includes everything in the commercial, the pro, the persona part, where you get all those additional um, AI employees, and even the reseller. Plus, as a bonus, and hold on to your hats. I mean, this just keeps getting better and better. I'm not sure how Rohit is doing this economically, but he is. He's going to include 1 month extra API access for webinar attendees. That's you only. So that ends up, I believe, we're now up to 4. Up to 4 months of API access. That's pretty incredible. But you're probably saying, well, 4 months, what happens in a third of a year? What if I want a year and 4 months or more? What if I want to just keep going and not paying anything? We figured out a way to do that for you. If you get the bundle, then look for the mega bundle. It's going to be in there. So when you go to the page, you'll see a place that you can get the mega bundle, and you'll get 1 additional year of API included. So you don't have to pay for anything for a change. Not have to waste tokens and tokens and tokens. It's just going to be included. I know it's crazy. So the mega bundle is going to be everything in the bundle, plus unlimited bot instances, 1 year of additional complimentary AI access, 1 year of additional hosting. Wow. Monthly updates to bots for 1 year, VIP training calls with Rohit, myself, and the team. And the mega bundle bonuses are also going to be AI wrappers, which is a piece of software that we created that helps you actually program software. It actually allows you to make very easily little software packages that you can sell. So it's better than vibe coding because it's much simpler. You'll see AI wrappers is a very simple way to make software, and a lot of it can be visual too. It could be videos and images and that kind of thing, and then stuff that you could sell. And then we have AI Local Expert, which is software that really appeals to those that want to work with local businesses. It's geared towards that. Note, if a customer purchased the bundle and the mega bundle, you will receive a total of 15 months complimentary AI access and 3 years of hosting. Now, I have to ask, Luann and Shannon and Rohit back there if it's 15 months or 16 months because we're giving an extra month away on the webinar. But either way, it's crazy how much complimentary API you're going to be getting. So, who's ready to actually hit this? Are you guys ready? We're going to deploy this now, so to speak, because we're going to actually offer this to you at a ridiculous price considering what you're getting in the bundle. You guys ready? It's only 287 because we're giving you a coupon of 60 bucks. There's the link. It's at the bottom of your screen. There's the coupon. It's right there. And it's only 287. That's the bundle. Now, and you get access to all that we just showed you, including the reseller. I'll go over it with you again because it's mind-boggling. I mean, it seems like it's almost too much information because you're getting so much. But it's important that you realize you get all that. Now, once you're in there, you get the mega bundle offer as well to extend by a year your API access. Right? So it gets extended by a full year. And that's 247 just one time. 247 just one time. And we have some bonuses too. I'll go over briefly. When you purchase today, you get the AI Army Quick Start Blueprint. You get 30 AI Army role ideas because obviously you want to start somewhere. 30 roles, endless possibilities like content writer, social media manager, SEO specialist, lead generation bot, email marketing assistant. You also are going to be getting as a bonus commercial rights certificate. And number 4 is the first 7 days with your AI Army, a day-by-day activation plan that shows you exactly what to deploy, what to test, what to optimize, and scale in your first week. It's built for activation, not just onboarding. It is only $287 with a $60 coupon included. So in other words, this coupon is going to expire. You're getting a special webinar deal. It is quite astounding, actually, the price for everything that you're getting. The very first question I saw is I want people to understand what they're getting with this free AI access. Exactly what does that mean?
And to clarify something that Shannon just brought up, and I added it to the slides, but it's not showing on yours, Todd. It's 287 one time. It's not recurring.
This is not yearly. This is one time. 16 months?
16 months, yes.
You really get 16 months.
16 months if
with the mega bundle. If they buy the bundle and the mega bundle, they really get 16 months.
That's what Rohit said.
Okay, look.
And some other people were asking about what happens after the 6 months, and you can bring your own API keys through OpenRouter, and that posts their complimentary API access after their complimentary access is over. So I got that from Rohit earlier.
Okay. What
All
else do we
right.
have? Let's see.
The total cost of the product, Moses, is $287 once you use the coupon for the bundle, and then $247 for the mega bundle. Make sure that you use your coupon. Put the coupon in the access in the step 2 on the secure checkout page before you hit submit to make your purchase, because we don't want to have to go through any kind of refunding or anything like that. Make sure you take advantage of that coupon before you make your purchase.
All right. Who would like to see the demo again, guys?
Welcome to One Man Army. I'm Todd Gross along with Rohit Shah, the man behind it. Let me show you what we made. 3 of the most used AI agents on the planet. One dashboard live in minutes, working for you or working for clients who pay you every single month to set this up. Now, before I show you the dashboard, I want you to understand why we built this. It's really important. There's 3 bots: Paperclip, OpenClaw, and Hermes. Now, these aren't random little AI tools somebody threw together last week. Not at all. This is OpenRouter. It tracks how much these agents are actually getting used across the whole world. Take a look. Look where they sit. Right at the very top. Hermes alone has used more tokens than the rest of the top 5 agents combined. That's combined. And that's not hype. That's real usage from people running real operations because they're open source. They are some of the most starred projects on GitHub right now. Updated constantly, getting better constantly. So the demand for these bots is already here. So why doesn't everyone just run these themselves? Because it's brutal. If you try to set this up yourself, you have to deal with servers, Docker, API keys, credit, security, updates, and keep everything online 24/7. And a laptop won't cut it. Your laptop shuts down, your internet drops, things break, updates, they change. And if you're setting this up for a client, you can't exactly tell them the bot only works when your laptop happens to be open, right? Then there's the risk, of course. One security slip on a server doing real work gets expensive fast. That's the part people don't see coming. And on top of it all, the AI model itself costs money wherever you run it. So here's the real value. It was never just getting access to these agents. It's making them easy to deploy everything, easy to run, and easy to sell as a proper AI automation system. That's why we built it. One Man Army. Here's the whole setup. Watch how fast this is. I pick a bot. In this case, I choose complimentary AI access, and that's the model access. So there's no wallet to load. I click create. That's it. It's spinning up. We've got Paperclip going. Not bad, right? Now let me do the other 2 while that runs. OpenClaw and Hermes, a couple of clicks, and done. 3 world-class AI agents are live. No Docker, no server to rent, no API key to hunt down. We host it, we secure it, we keep it updated. What takes a developer a full weekend, you just did 3 times in under a minute. Now let me show you what these actually do. And as I go, keep one thing in mind. Everything here you can also do for a client and charge them for it. Start with Paperclip. This isn't a chatbot. It's an AI company. I give it a goal. Let's say run an AI automation agency that sells to local businesses. I hand that to the CEO, and the CEO doesn't just answer me. It plans, it works out which role it needs, and it asks to hire them. A sales agent, a solutions engineer, an account manager. Nothing happens until I say, yes, I approve. And now I've got a team already. A real org chart, all working towards the goal I set. Need more firepower? I could drop in a ready-made specialist in seconds. Look at this one. We've got a video one here. This one creates images. Deployed, done. That's part of the difference. You're not talking just an assistant. You're running a company here. You stay in command. The team does the work for you. Next, OpenClaw. This one's the field operator, the one that goes out and actually does things. Watch this. I'll ask it to find me a new dentist in New York who'd benefit from AI automation with their phone number and their website. And there they are. A prospect list in seconds. Think about what that actually is. That's your client pipeline. People sell lists like this. Your bot just built one while we were talking just now. Now Hermes. Hermes is the memory, and it's quietly the most valuable one. Every other AI tool starts from zero every time. You re-explain your business, every Monday. Hermes doesn't. It remembers. Watch. I'll load in a client, ABC Dental, in New York. Their tone, their offer, their audience, Hermes saves that. It knows that client now for good. And here's where it pays off. I'll ask it, based on what you know about ABC Dental, build a one-page marketing plan, make it client ready, and email it to me. And look, there's the plan. Clean, formatted as a PDF, and it just emailed it to me from my own verified domain. That's a deliverable. An agency charges $300 to $500 for. Done in about a minute by a bot that already knows the client. And none of this is chained to your desk. I can hook Hermes up to Telegram and run the whole thing from my phone. I fire off a task from Telegram, find today's AI news and post it on my X account, and it is done. Post it. That's the difference hosting makes. It's crazy. It's running around the clock. While you sleep, while you're sitting with a client, the work just keeps going. So let's talk about the real opportunity here. Everything I just showed you, finding leads, remembering clients, building plans, posting content, running a whole AI team, every bit of that you could do for other people, local businesses, founders, agencies, they're all looking for exactly this right now. And they'll happily pay you every month for it because they understand the truth. Hosting costs money. AI access costs money. Security and updates costs money. Agencies are charging $5,000 a month to set up the exact system that you just watched. People are doing single setups on Upwork for $500 to $2,500 each. You get commercial rights from day one. Use it for yourself or install it for clients and bill them monthly. As we've said, it's your call. So that is OneManArmy, 3 of the hottest AI agents right now. Paperclip to plan, OpenClaw to execute, Hermes to remember and improve. All deployed from just one dashboard, hosted for you with complimentary AI access included. You could use it to run your own work faster, or you could sell AI automation systems to clients with commercial rights included. This is Todd Gross. Along with Rohit Shah, we really appreciate your being here. And that's a look at the inside.
All right. Thank you, Todd. Oh, that's me. I am now going to switch you back, and we're going to take more questions about the product from you. I hope that that was useful for you. And we're all ready to switch back to the screen right now. Luann, come on back. I'm going to ask Shannon something off on the side if you
Okay,
mind answering questions while I do that.
no problem. And thank you. There's still a lot of people on here tonight, and we really appreciate you staying and asking all your incredible questions. Matilda, congratulations. She says she's in. Ken, you're asking how soon will you be allowed to sell the resellers? Because you're asking about sell the front end, but you're selling front end and pro on the resellers account. And I don't know that we talked about a particular date, but generally speaking, it's not. We don't advise you to do so until after the launch is over. Thank you, April. Okay, good. The reseller says on the page, I guess, you sell it after June 12th. The yearly hosting, Jason, after your hosting period has ended, is, and depending on which you buy, because if you purchase the mega bundle and that you'll extend that out. But the hosting after your hosting period expires is $67 per year.
All right, we're going to wrap it up, but thank you. And here's your link, of course, one last time. We're very excited to have you on board. This is just one tremendous piece of software suite, so to speak. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks again, everybody, for hanging in there and answering so many, asking so many great questions.